Hello, this is AgostoAllElite podcast on this Saturday. This is Richie. We got Raw, SmackDown, Dynamite, Rampage recap. Plus, we're going to deep dive dope into the Sami Zayn storyline with the Bloodline, much more. Plus, we're going to do Dynamite. There is some story progression within Dynamite and some wrestling news and much more. So stay tuned for the whole episode of AgostoAllElite podcast. Alright, let's start with the Raw recap. Sami Zayn, as he makes appeal for Kevin Owens to help him take down the Bloodline. But this week, Sami Zayn opened the show by addressing the loss to Roman Reigns in his Elimination Chamber. Zayn insisted the story wasn't over for saying there was one person to speak with, calling Kevin Owens to the ring. Zayn appealed to his former friend to help him take down the Bloodline, which Owens refused, telling Zayn he was fine fighting the Bloodline on his own. If Zayn needed help, he should have called his friend Jey. So, this segment was Sami Zayn trying to appeal to Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens said no, he is not having it. Kevin Owens was fighting the Bloodline by himself. He doesn't trust Zayn no more. So, that's pretty much what it's about. Alright, let's start with, there was a matchup with Sami Zayn defeating Baron Corbin by pinfall after a hella kick. Corbin attacked Zayn after the open promo, laying Zayn out for returning the crowd. He was right when he predicted Zayn would get destroyed by Reigns in front of his family and friends. Fired up Zayn, starting the ring for an impromptu match. He was able to win with relative ease. Zayn's story obviously did not end when he lost to Reigns, despite the outrage of a certain portion of WWE fans. Zayn has plenty more to do in taking down the Bloodline, even as Reigns move on to his match with Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania. Owens and Zayn will honestly reunite at some point ahead of WrestleMania will make great for a great moment. For now, though, it's all tease and making sure WWE keeps Zayn as hot as possible. Basically, Zayn's story is going to continue on to WrestleMania if he is in WrestleMania or not. So, alright. Austin Theory interviewed backstage. Austin quickly complained on how the headlines aren't about him as current and future WWE, but insisted about John Cena's return. First, it suggests that the two will clash at WrestleMania. Then Theory guaranteed a win over Edge later in the night, being a legend in home country of crap-ass Canada. So this was Theory talking shit about Edge and his Canadian roots. And also there was going to be a John Cena Austin Theory match WrestleMania this year. So stay tuned for that. You might as well watch it, see the match. So, Mustafa Ali defeated Dolph Ziggler by pinfall with a crucifix. Basically, Ali countered Famouser from Ziggler with a handstand to set up the final pinning combination. This was a short match. I don't care for that match. It sucked. I don't know why they put matches like that. I get it. Ziggler needs a job. Ali needs a job. So, let's get to it. A Cody Rhodes promo was interrupted by Paul Heyman. Heyman asked if he had thought Drew would meant to win the Undisputed Championship at WrestleMania. The lack of time at home with his family and consistent obligation for the corrupt company. Rhodes responded he had no choice but to finish the story at WrestleMania. So this story is about, Heyman asked Cody if he was meant the championship, that meaning lack of home with his family, obligation of the company. So it's basically Paul Heyman has a surprise volume brandy, and he may well have a little surprise. So something like that. MVP and Omos issue a challenge to Brock Lesnar for WrestleMania. MVP told Lesnar to show up in person next week to announce his decision. We're getting Omos versus Lesnar WrestleMania, pretty much a Snorsville matchup. Snorsville. Anyway, we have Seth Rollins defeated The Miz by referee stoppage. So Rollins hit Miz with double stops, forced the referee to intervene and stop the match. Rollins would attempt to deliver a message to Logan Paul for interfering in the Elimination Chamber. Did so by punishing Paul's former mentor and teammate. We're getting Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul at WrestleMania. So we're getting some more of that. And it's basically more like that. We now go to Becky Lynch and Lita challenging Damage Control to a women's tag team title match. Bayley was hosting her Damage Control tapes on an episode of Ding Dong Hello with Lynch, and Lita erupted at the challenges shoot. Bayley is stepped on a half with Dakota Kai, Io Sky, leaving the pair looking confused. It's later confirmed that the tag team title match will take place next Monday. So yeah, it will take place next Monday. So what is this? So yeah, it is how it is what it is. Okay, Boston Reed defeated Chad Gable by pinfall after Sami. Let's go to that. So Gable was distracted, but Otis was also in the ring, being cornered by Maxine Dupree, leading to the finish. So yeah, this was a straight match. Boston Reed wins. So yeah, Lashley attacked Elias during a segment where Elias was asked someone to face him at WrestleMania. Lashley grabbed the microphone and said, "You will destroy anyone disrespected from now on." So yeah, this is more destructive Lashley. So we're getting some of that more often. Alright, let's go to the main event. The United States Championship, Austin Theory defeated Edge by pinfall with A-Town down. So Edge was most famous for winning the title when Ben Balor ran to the ringside. Edge managed to knock Ben Balor from the ring apron for Balor to return and kick Edge right into the Theory's finisher. After the match, Balor hit Edge with a coup de grace 3 times. So yeah, Raw was okay with some storylines, but still, the Zay storyline carried it, but most of the show was shit, so I don't know why, but Raw is pretty much shit. So let's get rid of that. And Raw, like honestly, Monday Night Raw is still getting worse. The only good with SmackDown was the Bloodline, but I said Raw's still shit. Honestly, I don't know why Raw's still on Monday, but no, WWE sucks at this point. It still sucks. Even with Triple H booking, it still sucks. So I don't know why people will say that WWE is better than AEW. That's just stupid. Yeah, Tony Khan is not perfect, but Hunter's not perfect either. He has shit booking. I don't know what's that with Hunter. So yeah, so watch it. Honestly, watch the product with AEW, and you'll see why it doesn't sucks. Honestly, I don't know what you got people thinking. It's what it is if you thought. And I don't know. Wrestling is something culture. Alright, let's go to the Dynamite recap. Let's start with Cassidy versus Yuta. He defeated him to retain the AgostoAllElite Championship. This was a pay-per-view qualifier opener for sure. Yuta had no choice but to play heel here. He did very well without going overboard. The crowd was into this, especially with the ending sequence. The visual, you can visual Yuta's gum sticking right on the forehead. Cassidy is one that you gotta check out. There's some YouTube on AEW, YouTube, check them out. No, I'm just telling you right now. Well, in the post-match, Cassidy wanted a hug. Castagnoli appeared and told Yuta not to. He's brushed past Cassidy. So, this is good. We don't know what's going on with the Blackpool Combat Club. They're turning heel. They're edging towards a heel turn. So, then will MJF turn face or Bryan Danielson will turn heel? This is a game we don't know. I don't know what's going to happen to MJF's character. MJF's still the heel. He hated the Combat Club, so there's no hope. So they might be in a partnerships. I don't know what's going on. Wrestling is how culture is. So alright, Renee Paquette backstage with Hangman Page and Evil Uno. So Hangman Page was about to say he was prepared for Jon Moxley Uno was prepared for Moxley when Page erupted. Uno immediately cut him off, told him not to get involved. It is time for Dark Order to stand up for themselves. This is racist in the making for Dark Order. Evil Uno is going to stand up and kick Moxley's ass later on tonight. So yeah, this is a boost for Dark Order. I'm happy. I want something for Dark Order to do something, and this is I need for that. Alright, let's go to Ricky Starks promo. We got stylish Ricky Starks makes his way to talk about recent struggles with Jericho Appreciation Society. So Starks accepted Jericho doesn't want to have a rematch. He'll move on with the crowd cheer for it. Starks had an open contract for a match at Revolution. Jericho made his way out and said Starks isn't done with him until Jericho says so I beat him already. Jericho says Starks is on his level. Peter Avalon made his way out to start the open challenge. Jericho hit just back on the stage, us robbing us of hearing more Avalon's amazing entrance music. So Jericho came on ring saying you can't have a revolution around him. So says if they can wrestle him again, he'll just have JS interfere once more. Starks questioning Jericho can get the job done by himself. Stars convinced Jericho to set the match, even they saying JS wouldn't allow to get involved but doesn't have a pin. Starks conveniently does, and Jericho signed the contract that's falling right into Starks' trap. Jericho says no one's supposed to mess the Ocho, and Starks gave a wink to the camera. So we heard pre-recorded words with some of the tag teams involved in Battle Royal later tonight. There were some pre-recorded words, so there was some of that. We heard, so now the Acclaim defeated the Oriarty and Big Bill Lee, or Big Bill Casanoli, or Cas XL, like Big Bill Casel, like it was Big Bill or something. Oh, it's Stokely halfway, of course. So Siobhan, like it was a small match, it's up. The Acclaim won in a weighted 4-way title match at Revolution. So Shabbat introduced Christian Cage to the stage, and Jungle Boy and Jack Perry immediately attacked him from behind. Perry put out 2 chairs, allowed to do the concerto, but couldn't bring himself to do it at first, allowing Cage to get a low blow. So Cage slammed Perry's head appealing onto the chair, busting Perry's open. Referees and Dr. finally made their way to back Cage off. A video package of Warlow and Samoa Joe showing Joe said the biggest mistake was ever made will be standing back in the ring with him at Revolution. So Saria with Tony Storm defeated Sky Blue. A quick win for Saria in an interfered field contest as the post match built up last week. Ruby Soho realized that the women's title is more important than picking whose side she's on the moment. Before starting, Saria could spray blue paint post match. Baker and Jamie Hayter hit the rainbow to make it happen. As Storm and Saria sprang up the ramp, Ruby showed her music hit. She didn't care about either of them. She stared down Hayter and signed. She wants the AEW Women's title. So yeah. Jamie Hayter is mostly like Jamie Hayter's gonna defend the title against Ruby Soho and Saria at Revolution. That's gonna happen. Brian Danielson problem. Alright. Danielson made his way to massive elevation, great back in Phoenix. Danielson talked about MJF a bounty on his head. Emphasized his mentor Regal, but before he could say anything else, MJF interrupted. MJF said he's been abandoned by anyone who's ever loved, but he talked about a girl who changed him and wanted to start a fan until she left him. This guy, you deserve a chance. MJF said the thing that makes him feel loved is the AEW World Championship. The AEW title is the only thing that keeps them from taking a handful of pills to call it a day. MJF said Danielson's son he'll never have a happy, healthy family that he takes for granted. Then MJF hates Danielson having more concussions than anyone else. Every time he sets foot in the ring, he says wrestling is more important than his family. It spit MJF in the face and mentions putting pill-addicted Regal in the hospital. MJF will punish Danielson for everything he's taken for granted and mentions Danielson's kids. MJF looks in the camera saying hi to Birdie and grab Dana's arm and make him submit so he'll never be able to play again. MJF said he'll give Dana early onset CTE on March 5th. As Danielson hopped in an American for his kid, immediately hit the ring to separate them. So each broke free referees and every agent separated them as well. Danielson spread around the floor, got a clean shot and MJF to end the segment. So yeah, this was a crazy segment. This was all doubt a great segment for Bryan Danielson and MJF. I am excited for that match at the pay-per-view, so let's see how it goes. So, alright. Tony survived backstage. Hayter, Britt Baker. Hayter said Saria will come back, try to wreak havoc, undefeated as well. Hayter said Ruby Soho deserved a title shot. Also, they waited a triple threat match and women's title match at Revolution. So as I said before, it's a triple threat for the women's title. I said before. Alright, we got Jet Jarrett and Jay Lethal winning the tag team battle royal to advance the Revolution, the AEW Revolution tag team fatal 4-way match. The tag team title fatal 4-way match. Oy, I'm trying to get better at this. So there was almost as many people ringside. There was natural match. I was honestly surprised who won. I considered it was ready to challenge him pretty recently. I was personally hoping for Best Friends or Aussie Open to take this. Then we get a video package about House of Black, talking about problem in the company, eradicated. They call it the Elite for Rampage this week, talk about their status. So yeah, this is basically nothing how you do. Alright, we go to Tony Khan's announcement. Renee Paquette's backstage with Tony Khan, who says this huge announcement to be made by an AEW talent. And Cole walked in and said next month there will be a weekly 1-hour TV series immediately after Dynamite called AEW All Access. It will be unfair to look at AEW, and Cole said this is something you won't be able to miss. His deal to show his ups and downs. Cole said the night the show debuts will make his in-ring return on that episode of Dynamite. So yeah, we don't know what it is. It's gonna be a big night. Yeah. So yeah. Alright. Jon Moxley versus Evil Udo. This was pretty brief but hard hitting when it lasted. Like basically Udo put up a strong effort, crowd cheered for him, bled badly towards the end. Moxley also had blood gusher at the end thanks to him and Page. I don't know if it's gonna be a permanent thing, but the Blackpool Combat Club came across the heels in the main event. So Moxley got the rear naked choke. Udo passed out. Moxley wouldn't let go. Silver Reynolds kicked the ring to make the save, but Claudio Castagnoli and Utah ran out to defend them all. Him and Page teamed up, spread to the ring with barbed wire wrapped around his fist and popped Moxley right in the face, but open badly. So Page tried to buckshot Larry, but Moxley bailed in the ring, but he's bleeding a gusher. So yeah, this was a great main event, and what it is how it's like, yeah, I don't know what that means. So what is the main event? What is the main event? So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it pretty much was Dynamite. Yeah, that was a Dynamite episode. It was pretty good. It had a 1 million ratings, so this was a great episode in my book. So, all right, next here comes SmackDown. Next here comes SmackDown recap now. All right, let's get to SmackDown. So SmackDown basically played a host to emotional, heavy encounter between Zayn Uso. The close friends turned foes, remaining at odds while Jey Uso's allegiances hang somewhere in the middle. Allegiance. So the aftermath of the Elimination Chamber left many unanswered questions regarding the bloodline. Jey Uso refusing to do Roman Reigns' bidding in Montreal, leading to physical response by Reigns. Zayn attempted to capitalize on the distraction, but accidentally struck Jey Uso. Both Zayn and Jimmy Uso fought for Jey Uso's support on Friday night. And let's go. And now, SmackDown also featured a meeting between SmackDown's Women's Champion Flair, Ripley, Wyatt, Drew McIntyre, Champion Gunther, Rey Mysterio, Ronda Rousey. Those are the other stars who made big appearances. So let's go to Jimmy and Jey Uso. They had a loaded conversation. Jey Uso basically, Jey Uso remains split. So basically, Jimmy Uso opened SmackDown. He tells the interviewer that Jey has not returned his calls or texts his Elimination Chamber. Jimmy Uso informed his twin brother they could meet in the ring. Jimmy Uso said he could allow Jey Uso to get everything off his chest. So Jimmy Uso confided Cola that Jey Uso appears to be spooked over a split between Zayn and Bloodline. Jimmy isn't sure where his brother heads out. The information aftermath from Elimination Chamber. The special counsel Heyman recommended Jimmy Uso deal with Jey Uso by himself while Cola remained backstage. So Jimmy head to the ring, close out SmackDown. Basically, it was the main event. Jimmy Uso acknowledged that Jey Uso was conflicting and hurt. Jimmy Uso insisted he will always be here for him. For Jey Uso, he acknowledged the cracks in the bloodline, the group's ongoing issues with Zayn, Kevin Owens, Jey Uso's problems with Reigns. So Zayn interrupted Jimmy Uso entering through the crowd. Zayn assured he was able to speak with Jimmy Uso. Zayn reflected how Jimmy Uso was the one who welcomed him to the fold, stood by him, even when Jey Uso and the rest of the group was hesitant. Zayn said how hurtful he was that Jimmy Uso attacked him without hesitation at the Royal Rumble. Jimmy Uso accused Zayn of being selfish. Zayn argued that having his loyalties tested every week by the bloodline was unfair. Both men were distracted by presence of Jey Uso in the crowd. Zayn offered Uso a chance to jump ship before the bloodline sank. Distracted by Jey Uso's rival, Jimmy Uso blindsided Zayn. The assault would not last. A last attention by Jimmy Uso allowed Zayn to allow him out with a heel of a kick. Zayn exited the crowd by his Cola, came to Jimmy Uso's aid. Zayn and Jey Uso exchanged looks before Zayn fled. Jey Uso remained in the audience to close the show. So yeah, that was the main event. So, hearing praise upon the Bloodline storyline is getting redundant. The ongoing drama between Zayn and the Bloodline continues to be the most consistent, enthralling, well-booked storyline for wrestling. Zayn, Jimmy Uso spoke with conviction, and they both made valid classes. Furthermore, Jimmy Uso's acknowledgement of friction between Jey Uso and Reigns should not be overlooked. Even some buffoonish pro wrestling should be over. Wrestling can see everything happen in front of him. The choice to keep Jey Uso in the crowd as a wise one, allowing the story to breathe. Heyman kept Scola backstage and was also consistent with Heyman and Reigns' effort to distract Scola from more turbulent members of the Bloodline. And pretty much that's the story right there. So anyway, the Imperium, Gunther, Kaiser, and Giovanni defeated Madcap, Strowman, and Ricochet by pinfall after Gunther planted Moss with a powerbomb. After the match, McIntyre had to confront the Imperium, but attacked by the Viking Raiders. McIntyre, Sheamus, Strowman, and Ricochet beat down the Raiders. Santos Escobar told Rey Mysterio how much he respects him. This led to a confrontation between Escobar and the duo of Dominic Mysterio Ripley. That was from the rest of the show. Kofi Kingston defeated LA Knight by pinfall after Trouble in Paradise, preceded by distraction from Xavier. Flair and Dominic Mysterio had a back and forth about their famous fathers. The segment concluded with a stare down between Flair and Ripley, most likely. Shayna Baszler defeated Natalya by submission after snatching a cross-arm bar. Ronda Rousey and Tia Knox had a conversation post-match. Wyatt starred in a strange meta episode of Fire Funhouse involving Lashley, Bray Wyatt. So this will be, I think, sees Lashley versus Bray Wyatt at WrestleMania. Some funny, fantastic match. Karrion Kross defeated Rey Mysterio by submission after locking on the cross jacket courtesy of distracted by Dominic Mysterio. So Dominic Mysterio provoked his father to hit him post-match, but Mysterio showed restraint and walked away. Basically what I said that what closed out the show was Jimmy Uso, Jey, the Bloodline storyline. That mostly closed out the show. SmackDown was actually good. The rest of the matches were the stories besides the Bloodline was crap. The only thing that was good with WWE and SmackDown right now is the Bloodline. But the rest of the stories Triple H is producing is pretty much shit in my book. So the Bray Wyatt is worse. I'm sorry. It's worse. It sucks. The Bloodline is good. I'll give Triple H that. So, but it was started by Vince McMahon originally. So, what do you expect? Like Vince inherited, gave it to Hunter to make the Bloodline more interesting, create a story, and something what you need to do. So, yeah, that's what you have to do. So, yeah. All right, let's go to the Rampage recap. The episode featured Sammy Guevara, Daniel Garcia being a pair of sexy boys, the Young Bucks starting profile, and more. So let's get to the recap. Young Bucks versus Aussie Open. Mecca was ringside. Aussie Open had the power edge, so the Young Bucks ride with an agile, flippy advantage. Young Bucks worked for hot tag moments to run wild. When they set up the Meltzer Drive, the lights went off for the House of Black mind games. Lights on. Aussie Open regained control. The Bucks rallied for victory by arranging Mark Davis to hold Fletcher for a power drive position. Then they kicked Davis' legs out of force. The downward motion and power drive by his own teammate. The Bucks connect on the BT trigger to pin Fletcher. Young Bucks defeat Aussie Open. Afterwards, lights out, and the House of Black surrounded the ring. Lights out again, they were gone. Commentary broke news that Elite would defend the trio's titles against House of Black at Revolution March 5th. So yeah, Best Friends interview was by far nearly a breakdown. And Austin Gunn basically piped a Chuck to his knee. Colton Gunn ran to pipe it to Trent's head. The Guns cackled with laughter at the damage done. So yeah, Orange Cassidy, Dan Hansen checked on their pals. Cassidy was peed with information of perpetrators will allow us later that Cassidy will defend the All-Atlantic Championship against Big Bill Morrissey next week. So yeah, Toy Star versus Willow Nightingale. Sarria was ringside. Willow Power was a rally for a cannonball on a corner and a jet rally driver. Sarria held onto the apron, so Willow to the ring. Started Cavali's situation, chop blocking Willow. Storm finished with a power driver. After the match, Sarria and Storm brought out the spray paint. We saw Save, the Mean Girls ran away. Dr. Britt Baker, MD, and Jamie Hayter came out for fisticuffs. Fine, but the Acclaim were attacked backstage. And Jay Lethal, Jack Jarrett, Sonny Dunn, Sam Singh Lethal applied a figure four Max Caster while Dud jabbed the pencil to wrap his eye. Bosie's backstage tag team salt scenes go back to the arrangement made of Dynamite for the Guns and lead to Jarrett to take out the competition. Prior to the four-way tag team title match of Revolution, Jay Cargill's men through their opponents for undefeated record. Who is left? Jay asked for favorites to meet her. Stu welcomes all competition. So is Lance Archer versus Brian Saturn. So Jake Snake Roberts was at Archer's side. The return of the Murder Hawk Monster. Saturn charged at the ramp for his start. Archer saw it coming and lifted him in the air on the back body drop. Archer proceeded with a hot squash to win with Lariat. So we got Dustin Rhodes asking Keith Lee was up for the task of challenging Swerve Strickland and Parker Bordeaux next week. Lee was game. The force is strong. Dustin will send Mogul affiliates to hell for good. Mark Harris interviewed the main event participants. Daniel Garcia's title disrespect showing towards Guevara. The Spanish guy is a three-time TNT champion, a pillar of the company. Garcia is making his mission for Sami to get the respect he deserves. Sami hugged Garcia for his kind words. Andrade aims to prove the real deal. Being just Jericho was an upset fluke. He is sad to see. Just action, no words, enough talk. Henry calls it time for the main event. Stokely Hathaway took credit for Hook's reinstatement because of settlement. He picked the man to face Hook, alluding to Ethan Page. But Page started Matt Hardy's name, and Hardy was caught off guard first. They got in the mood. Hardy was reeling the vibe, shot the hit by Hook. Hook in the during the match where Halfway wins. Isaiah Cass added it would bad from ringside. Page wasn't in on the plane, suggesting no disqualification. This is me unofficial. If Hook beats Hardy to retain the FW Championship next week, there's a good chance Hook will have halfway in the match. San Guevara versus Action Andrade. So here's the Daniel Garcia ringside. Action all around aggression. All high-flying aggression increased by throwing explosions in the center of the ring. Sami out on the knee, does kick another jumping knee, ran to the standing Spanish fly for Andrade. Garcia went for a distraction. Right? So Andrade kicked him on the apron. Action led a springboard set time. Sami kicked out the cover. Andrade went to finish her springboard over. This time Garcia was ready to close on the rookie out of sight. The referee said pounced with the win with that GTH. So Sammy Guevara and Andrade brought the heat for the side main event. It was an insane main event. So the finish cut out the legs with cheating. Garcia sided from it was full steam by showcasing Andrade as a real deal. So to me, his skills signed with Sammy's dancing partner, the blowing friendship between Sami and Garcia is one of my favorite minor stories in AEW. This is actually my favorite stories in AEW right now. The dual sexy boys pose was funniest moment of the show. Garcia Silva signed with Stern stiffest character but showing ability to embrace the sports entertainment side. So the Young Bucks Aussie Open, they brought out Danny in the match to open the broadcast. So AEW unfortunately committed a common Christian booking Clutch Cold. Bars were very hard bars used. So the fish made Austin look foolish. So the Power Driver partnership reserved for mid-card teams. Honestly, Austin Championship returning in Japan. I see Margaret has hosted up. Want to see him clash with Butcher in the tag team competition. The trio title builds lackluster House of Black versus Elite match I definitely want to see. The start should be for a loss of the pay-per-view. I feel like there's still a lot of material to work with. Yeah, coming back on the beginning of the feud. So, yeah. Will Nigel was fun. As always, that contrasts how nicely Saraya and Tony Storm made her root against him. So Will has a good message that fits her personality and pop the crowd. Running Cannibal Spectre's excited. She understands how to work the frenzy, such as lowering her stress from a sporting perspective. Will only is hiding on the mental game. She oddly turned her back on the mental. Storm, Ivory Smasher behind as a rookie mistake and fighting the restaurant with thinking the punch man hula boo that the review we've seen before next time, but his music sack was like playing during the chase. Alright, quick thoughts on the rest of the show. So example word of the week was Apologetic described how Kenny Omega overcome with anger. So the backstage beatdowns were amusing and large and lightweight with a huge pipe, pencil to the eye. Mehar versus Hook is straight matchmaking and win. Cement Hook is for real, and there's a question of Hardy with throwing the match offers halfway on a platter. Alright, well let's see, yeah. So basically Rampage was a good show. I don't know, it's good. So let's get to the news. Alright, Hall of Fame Mick Foley acts as a special guest host for this week's God TV third annual fundraising. This was for this week, announced. So, proceeding is going to help child health. So basically, God TV is going to announce like a third annual charity event, WrestleMania 3. It's like an online auction culminating, helping out child help and stuff. Mick Foley is going to be like basically, what's it again? Oh yeah. Like, Mick Foley is going to be a special guest host, so that's Mick Foley's charitable guide, so that's what it is. It's going to take place it's going to be on Thriller, on a Thriller service. It'll be on WrestleCon in downtown Los Angeles. We're going to, along with Valerie Sokal, Winningham, it's her last name, Lisa Marie, Toria, Vera, and the 5-Pine champion, women's champion, Mickie James. So, yeah. Or more times, I don't care. So yeah, that's basically like a charity thing. So yeah, Winnie has a foreign announcer, so I don't care. It's like WrestleMania is cool. Yeah, what it is, how wrestling is, how WWE UK broadcast home will become TNT Sports. So BT Sports has been official UK broadcast home for WWE. Has been recently rebranded TNT Sports 7th of July after the broadcaster was acquired by Warner Bros. Discovery. So stateside TNT broadcast AEW Rampage and TNT. TNT Sports will broadcast WWE, and both are owned by Warner Bros. Discovery. So yeah, that's pretty much the news. Yeah. Then WWE's Red Hot Creator puts AEW in uncharted waters. So AEW is not a hot charted waters. It needs to evolve because of it. Honestly, in my opinion, yes, when they formed a company 4 years ago, Pro Wrestling Alliance was solve a product getting from WWE begging for alternative. That's why we have Ring of Honor, New Japan picking up steam, and still under WWE umbrella, so embrace. While WWE is right on sales stars, disjointed stories, scripted promos, lack of quality in ring action, on a basis, AEW began fans everything basically when company wasn't backing the big time networks. Yeah, AEW backing with networks, TBN, TNT, and TBS, Warner Brothers, whatever. So WWE threw NXT against AEW on Wednesday did not slow down. I felt like the first time since the Fable and Monday Night War in the late 90s, WWE cop opposite. But the AEW won. So this time with help from Vince, who had to control created Triple H after such a sexual harassment scandal. The company has evolved, now producing what fans longing for a return to. So basically, behind the Bloodline story, a great focus on mid-card titles, a more organic promos, and more detailed drama-filled storytelling. WWE could be at the start of its hottest period of years. And honestly, it can. The only thing that was so hot was the Bloodline. The rest, the stories right now, the Triple H produced are shit. Alright, the Bloodline is good. That's about it. Let's agree to that. So don't bullshit about it, because the only thing that's good is the Bloodline. That's it. The rest of the stories WWE produced right now is shit. I'm saying shit. No crowd reaction from Bronson Reed. No crowd reaction from Karrion Kross. No crowd reaction. They're shit characters. I don't know what you're fucking producing. The only thing is good is the Bloodline. The rest Triple H is producing is shit. It's wholesale shit. Fuck Triple H. He had no nothing. The Bloodline was created by Vince. The story was originally created by Vince originally. So that's one thing Vince did good. The rest Triple H created, he did shit. The one he's good at, he handled the Bloodline storyline created well, but the rest, shit. Let's focus right now on the other news. WWE reportedly set to run 2 PLs, including WWE King in the Ring, Queen in the Ring, whatever. So this was according to Brett Thursday, Rebanomics, whatever, Brett and WrestleNomics. WWE planning 2 PLEs in May. The first one is Backlash, set for Saturday, and the other one's going to be King and Queen in the Ring. I see it going on in Saudi Arabia. Yeah, premiere live schedules. So no one cares. It's Saudi. King and Queen Ring is going to happen in Saudi Arabia. Who cares? So whatever. What it is, what it is. So up there, Mercedes next to opponents. So basically, this is from Dave Meltzer saying that their 2 opponents are going to be against NZM at Soccer Genesis, and then Maya Iwani at All Star Queendom. So both events set for this April. So that's ironic. So we don't know. they're gonna get double title women's match in Stardom, New Japan, whatever, against Gila, against Tim Nikito. Yeah, this is basically what's gonna happen. Mercedes, that's her. She wants to continue a New Japan tour. Let it continue. Who cares? It's what it is. So I want Mercedes to come to AEW. Don't let her near Impact. Impact is shit. It's same like TNA. It's always shit. Move on. Okay, Jeff Hardy court case relating to June 22. DUI has been closed. Yeah, the whole case DUI has been closed. Jeff Hardy is going to be served 30 days in prison in jail, but since it'll be 30 days credit time served, so he doesn't have to serve jail time. But Hardy's going to have to basically, he loses his life. He can't use his license for 10 years. His license is suspended for 10 years. He already served he already served 38 days in jail, which is where time credit is served. And he's on probation for 24 months, fined $4,000, with court costs listed as $586. That's true. Hardy's driver's license suspended for 10 years. There's additional sentences with vehicle impoundment for 9 days and vehicle interlock device for 2 years. So, yeah. So, all provisions include attending DUI school or drug rehabilitation programs, community service. So, yeah, Hardy is sentenced. Hardy's going to have to get cleaned, Hardy. Get your fucking ass cleaned. Don't fuck it up. Alright, we got update on Saudi Arabia, report interest in purchasing WWE. Basically, what happened was that now Saudi Arabia is interested in purchasing WWE. This is from Dave Meltzer. He says now Saudi Arabia is interested in purchasing WWE. They're confirming the interest there. So it's something they want to cover up for the bullshit about political human rights shit. So they're trying to buy WWE so they can get away with this. And that's Saudi Arabia for you. So that's nothing we can do. So anyway, this was AgostoAllElite podcast. I'll see ya next Saturday. Bye.